Hello, welcome back to my channel, and I'm gonna be reading my childhood favorites, which most of these favorites are from I think probably like 4th, 5th grade, mostly like 5th grade to 9th grade, because by the time I hit 9th grade is when I kind of stopped reading, and so that's what all these books are, and this video is obviously inspired by Books and Lala, Kayla, who did this video for like all of the grades and years and stuff, and I don't know how she remembers all of those. I just remember a select few from like years, but they all kind of jumbled together. But yeah, so these are the books I'm going to be reading. The first one will be The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Look at how worn this book is. And I think I read this for the first time in like 7th grade for like school for my English class, and we did like reports and stuff on it, which kind of like dampened the reading experience a little bit, but I'm really excited to give it another go. And yeah, and what I remember of this one, it's about, there's like the Soaches, then the Greasers? I don't know. The Soaches, then like the bad boys, whatever. And we follow the like bad boys, and there's like a fight with the Soaches, and then someone dies, and then so the two of the boys have to go on the run, and it's about their journey or something. And I remember Stay Golden Pony Boy. The next one is A Tale Dark and Grim by Adam Gidwitz, which this one was definitely middle school. I can't remember what year, if it was like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I don't remember. But this one is like about, I think, a brother and sister follow, Hansel and Gretel as they travel through a bunch of grim fairy tales. And I just remember eating the shit up. I liked how dark it was for being like a kid's book. Because obviously I'm big, well not obviously, but I'm like big in horror now. So I think this was one of my introductions to horror. And I ate it up. And I'm really excited to read this. I have the other 2 books as well, which I'll probably just finish on my own time. Just to like, because I think I finished the series. I can't remember. There's only 3. And I just want to reread them because I remember absolutely loving it. The next one is going to be Flawed Dogs by Berkeley Breathed. Berkeley Breathed. That doesn't sound like a real name. And this one's cool because it has like illustrations and stuff, which is fun. And I know this one is, bloop. This one I got from my cousin Elizabeth, I want to say. And I forget. I think this one might have been a 5th grade read that I read in 5th grade, or I got in 5th grade. And this one's just about a bunch of like, if you can see on the cover, he's like missing this little leg. A bunch of dogs that have like, they're either ugly or they have like a deformity or missing limbs, or something is wrong or abnormal about them. And it's just the shocking raid on Westminster, so I guess they're raiding something. I don't remember that. I just remember that it's the dogs running around doing shit. Can't remember exactly what shit, and I'm excited to get back into this one and read this one again because I remember absolutely devouring it. The next one is The Doll People by Anne M. Martin and Lauren Goodwin. Pictures by Brian Selznick. See, it starts with this one, and this is like the like nice like antique house, and then on the back is like the like plasticky house. And look, what I liked about these books. Oh, well, that's not fun. But you see the inside, that's fun. No, I remember, I don't know, this one I had to buy new because I didn't have my original copy because I lent it to someone and they never gave it back. And so I just ordered this one. I didn't realize, I'm pretty sure they used to have like underneath here, it would be like a design and stuff, but this one's not like that. It's fine, it's whatever. And so this one is about these 2 dolls. There's like a little antique doll and a like plasticky new doll. And then they just kind of meet up and then go and explore the house, and they're little adventurers, which is dangerous for the antique doll because she's breakable and she's like made out of glass. But the plastic one can get like thrown around and shit. Yeah, there's 4 books in this series. I read the first 2 and some of the 3rd one, but if it's like my childhood favorites, it really should be the 2nd one, The Meanest Doll in the World, because that was my original book that I read in this series because my mom got it for me, not realizing it was a sequel. And so I guess that would be more like it, but I want to reread the series, so I'm going to do The Doll People because I think I equally love this one as much as the first one. The next one is Wolverine, Worst Day Ever, which is obviously like an X-Men book, and it's about this kid who, like, because I think with X-Men, once you hit puberty, your powers come into play, and this kid has like the worst power ever, and it's hard. He has like kind of the power of invisibility, but he's not invisible. It's no one notices him. It's like you're there, but no one sees you because, like, I don't know, that's just what his power is. He just has the power of no one noticing he even exists, even though he is there. He's not invisible, like, he's there, but no one notices him. And it's just him going to Xavier's School for the Gifted and just walking around and exploring the mansion because no one can, like, realize he's there because he's invisible to them. And obviously his interactions with Wolverine. And I ate this shit up. And look, I forgot when I recently bought this. And, like, all of the stuff is in, like, web, like, blog entries, which I did not remember at all. And there's little pictures and stuff, which is fun. Then at the end, I remember this. There's a comic, a little bonus comic of, like, I think, like, kids or something? I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't remember. Bonus 3 full comics. Yeah, I don't know. Of, like, these, like, little kids, whatever. And yeah, I remember being obsessed with this book because I was really big into the X-Men movies, the, like, X-Men X2 and X-Men 3, The Last Stand, which those all came around, like, I think the X2 came out in, like, 2004, X-Men 1 was, like, 2001, so I was, like, 1 and then 4, and yeah, so that I kind of grew up on those, and so reading this was kind of fun, and I was like, oh, no one notices me, I'm weird, oh. So I related to the main kid character, I remember a lot. Oh, but yeah, you can kind of see in the back, like, he's, like, there. But, like, no one notices him, they're fighting. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this again. I remember loving it. The next one is Zach's Lie, which is about, from what I can remember, a kid who's in the witness protection program running from someone or something. I think it might just be him, his mom, and his sister. I remember he wears contacts, like blue contacts, but he, like, has, like, brown eyes or whatever. And yeah, and I forget if it's my 6th or 7th grade teacher, Miss Smith or Miss Crowell. They were amazing. I absolutely loved them. My 8th grade one sucked. I hated her, Miss Everett. Hate you, Miss Everett. She talked real nasally and was annoying and awful. Hated her. But I forget if it was Smith or Crowell who recommended that I read this book. And then I read it and ate it up. It was so good. And I never read the sequel, but I have the sequel now, so I'm going to finish the series because I just remember having fond memories of this book. The next one is, I think, probably, like, one of my favorites from middle school was Zombie Chasers. Which, I don't know, this shit looks fucking kiddie. Like, I was reading this shit in middle school. Like, I don't know, it feels like I was, like, too old to be reading this. But yeah, so this is about, like, a group of kids surviving the zombie apocalypse, which, and some of the fucking art in here is, like, gnarly. Like, they're, like, eating body parts and shit. Here, let me see if I can find a good one. Like, look, that fucking dog is biting an arm. Like, some of the art in here, even though it's not colored in, it's pretty gnarly, and I think that's also my gateway to horror. Then The Walking Dead, because I went through a big Walking Dead phase, and then the cliffhanger with Glenn happened, and I stopped watching. And so yeah, and I think I have, like, from my own up to book 3. And then I think I, like, aged out. I think I went to high school and I was like, I'm not gonna finish reading these. But now I'm, like, fucking 23, almost 24. And I'm like, let me order all 7 of these so I can finish the series that I read a decade ago. But yeah, so I'll read this one and update you guys on it. I hope other people read this because I remember loving this, like, loving this. This was my life. I loved it so much. And I don't know, it's probably banned in schools now because it's too, like, gross or whatever, but honestly kind of fair. But the next one is Zombiekins, which I don't fully remember this one 100%. I remember loving it. It's just, like, was about, like, the zombie doll or whatever. I read it in, I think this one was, like, 7th grade. And it's just, like, the writing and there's, like, pictures and stuff. Like, I was reading that in 7th grade. Like, I don't know, I feel like when I was reading in, like, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I felt like a little fucking intellectual. Like, I was reading, like, books, and I was like, and they're just like this. I don't know. Oh, well. But yes, I'll be reading Zombiekins. The next one is Blown Away by Joan Hyatt Harlow. And this one does not have pictures, but this one was from 5th grade because my teacher, Miss Bragg, for, like, however long it took. I think she might have done multiple books, but this was the one that I liked. And we would have, like, 30 minutes to an hour or whatever where she would read, like, however much of a book. And I remember her reading this book, and we were all fucking enthralled. Like, even the bad kids in the class were like, fuck, we gotta know what happens. And it was, like, kind of adult for a kid's book. Like, bitches die, because it's about a hurricane. Oh, well, so it takes place in Florida, and this kid, I guess, this new girl moves in, whatever, and then they start, like, getting friendly, and then he hangs out with this old guy, and they get a donkey or a mule for a reason, and the dog, and whatever, and then a hurricane comes and, like, fucking destroys shit. Like, bitches don't make it out alive. Like, people die. I was, like, reading this to a 5th grade class. I don't know. Like, it's so weird, because it's so weird looking back at 5th grade, because you felt so old, but you were also so young. Looking back now, and, like, now I would be like, ooh, this is a little racy, but, like, back then I was like, oh yeah. So it probably was fine. Obviously it was fine. My teacher read it, and yeah, I cannot wait to read this one again because I remember just loving it. Then the last one is gonna be Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, which I don't know if other people have the same kind of history with this book, but this was, like, a big one in my school, at least. Like however many copies were in the library, like, every kid in school read this and went through this. And what I remember of this is takes place in a zoo, and it's, like, a murder mystery about the dead hippo, because someone killed the hippo, and there's, like, probably a kid who has to figure out why the hippo died and who killed it. So yeah, I'm very excited to get into all these books. Stay tuned.
Hello, here to update you on The Outsiders. I got to page 100, and I'm liking it a lot, but not as much as I did in 7th grade. So basically, where I'm at is, well, so it starts off just establishing Pony Boy's character and his mindset, and he just kind of, he's like, his mindset and, like, him and his brother's relationship with his two brothers in their little, like, group of greasers. And Pony Boy's always kind of felt out of place because the only reason he's in the group with greasers is because he's the younger brother of Soda Pop and Dairy, who are, like, the bigger part of the greasers, and he's just kind of like a tag along. Didn't really feel like he fits in and kind of feels like ostracized, which from that group a little bit, which I can relate to because, especially when I was younger, I was always the tag along with my brother and his friends. And I think back in 7th grade, I related to Pony Boy a lot because he was just, like, he was more quiet. He read books, you know, he wasn't interested in girls yet, which I never became interested in girls, but I don't know about Pony Boy's journey. And so I think I just read it and really resonated with it, and I was like, oh my god, this is me. And yeah, I still like it right now. I can see why it's a classic, and by page 100, there's still, like, 70 pages left, and I thought this was the end. Like, all I remember from the book is where I'm at now, and I thought that's where it ended, but there's, like, 70 more pages, so it doesn't end there. So I'm very curious to see where it goes, because I don't remember at all, and yeah.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. We're not welcome back. It's just a clip of video. Finished reading The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, and of course, I loved it. It was everything I wanted and more. Not actually. Little slightly disappointed because I remember being obsessed with it. I wasn't quite as obsessed with it as I was before, but I still really liked it. I think S.E. Hinton is a very talented writer. She wrote this as fucking 16, and she's really good at, like, it's only 180 pages. She's really good at establishing her characters quick. Like, we kind of get the feel for Pony Boy almost immediately, and, like, Dairy, Soda Pop, Johnny, Dallas, Cherry, even, like, the Soches, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Oh, well, but yeah. Like, you get a good feel for all of them and stuff, like, really quickly. And yeah, she's very talented. And yeah, I like teared up a little bit, like, so I gave it, I think, like a 4.5 out of 5. But, you know, rounds up to a 5. But yeah, highly recommend. I can see why it's like a classic. Then the next book I'm going to read is Wolverine, Worst Day Ever, which I have just watched the original 3 X-Men movies, X-Men, X2, United, or We United, whatever, and X-Men 3, The Last Stand. And I'm very excited to read this because I used to watch these movies all the time when I read this originally, and I used to watch X-Men Evolution, which I think I might watch a couple episodes of that because I remember loving that show. And yeah, I'm actually very excited to get into this one. This one I think I'm going to be able to read in like a minute. It looks like not like, but like writing and shit's like pretty far between because it's like a blog. And yeah, so yeah, very excited. And goodbye. Oh, I watched the Outsiders movie. I didn't like it. Nope, they kind of just like copy and pasted the dialogue from the book into the movie instead of like actually adapting it, which I get that like certain like the stay gold and stuff you need in the movie, but it just did not flow well. And I don't know, I think it was a combination of the script not flowing well and the actors were not good. They really weren't. Sorry, they were bad. Yeah, they did really bad, to be honest. And it just kind of didn't have any of the heart that the book had. So I was not impressed. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it at all. That's my review. Hello. I just finished Wolverine, Worst Day Ever. And surprise, surprise, I absolutely loved it. I love it. It's really nothing super special, like a little bit repetitive, not the best written thing ever. But like growing up, I always wanted to be an X-Men. Not even an X-Men, just like be like, you know, in the background of like X-Men movies and stuff, there's always the kids going to school there. I wanted to be one of those kids so fucking bad. I wanted to go to the mansion and like have like Wolverine as like a fucking teacher and shit. So bad. And so just, it's like weird because it's about this kid, Nowhere Boy, who his power is that no one notices that he's like even exists or stuff. Like he can just like walk around and no one will notice him. And so it's kind of mundane and just about him like exploring the school and just how lonely it is that no one notices him. And yeah, it's about him exploring the school. Then obviously he follows Wolverine around because, you know, it's Wolverine and stuff. And it's just, such a dream. I would have loved for that to be real and been at the mansion and gone to school there and been little X-Men. But yeah, I don't know, it's fucking cute. I love it. I love it so much. But like, it's all well written. There's nothing like super like great or special about it, but it's just, I think 100% nostalgia for me. And I love it so much. Don't care. I love it. Bye. Hello. So I got to page 50 of Zombiekins. Oh my god, sorry, it's early. 5:30. And yeah, it's about this kid who gets a zombie doll from an old haunted witchy widow in his neighborhood at like her yard sale. And now, and then it just slaughtered a bunch of his and his sister's stuffed animals, which was fun. Definitely feel the how young it's targeted for. But I don't know, it's fun. It's a fine time. I don't know, I'll be done with it soon. Okay, gotta go to work. I finished Zombiekins and it was fine. Yeah, I really didn't remember anything about this book at all, but basically it was just about the Zombiekins running around school infecting kids, and when he infected kids, it would make them behave. Or just whatever. And I guess moral of the story was like stand up to your bullies with violence, which was the choice. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't remember anything, and I don't even it don't does not hold up as a favorite because I literally didn't remember any of it. I just remembered liking it, but I think I only read it once, so I don't think I really liked it that much. I think I liked the cover. Um, and yeah, it reminded me kind of the movie called Cuties, but that's like R-rated or whatever. And the movie Cuties is good, but yeah. So this was fine. I don't know, like 2.5 out of 5. Obviously, I'm not the target audience, but I mean, I think compared to some of the other books we have that I was reading around the same time, this was probably going to be the worst one. So yeah. Hello. So I read 50 pages of Zombie Chasers, and I'm already liking it tons more than Zombiekins. Um, and Zombie Chasers is just about this boy, who walks in from school, and then the apocalypse starts. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think it's fun. A lot of fun. Sorry, people are here from work, and I'm scared of them seeing me. And yeah, so he gets home, and then his sister and her friends kind of like tie him up and give him a makeover. Then, as he's escaping from his sister, he realizes, well, his friend tells him the zombie apocalypse is happening. And so, yeah, that's where we are. And a lot better than Zombiekins. So much better. It's crazy. Hello, I finished Zombie Chasers, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun time, a very good like middle grade book. Hell of a lot better than Zombiekins. Like stuff actually happens in this. So basically, it's like about Zach, main guy, his best friend, nerdy guy, and his sister's friend, who's like kind of like the popular girl bully, that all get stuck together during the apocalypse, and they have to survive and try to make it to Tucson, like Tucon, Tucson, I think. But I don't know why the fuck there's a C in there. But yeah, and they have to travel and make it there. And yeah, I thought this was really a fun time. There's some action, some zombie killing, which I appreciated because in Zombiekins, literally like nothing happened. It was really boring. That's just like not even like a good like kids book, I don't think. And yeah, I don't know. I would recommend this for middle schoolers that you want to like introduce them into the horror genre. I thought it was really fun. I thought the characters were good, they were fine, and yeah, I like the little adventure and the road trip vibes, and the artwork's really cool here. Wait, let me find the. Let's see, look at that. And there's like artwork throughout the book. That's really cool. And yeah, I really liked it. There's like 7 of these books. I had 3 and I ordered the other 4, and I'm gonna read the whole series, just to finish it off because this is one of my favorites. And yeah, still holds up pretty well, I think, for like being a middle grade like kids book. You know what I mean? But yeah. Hello. So I got 50 pages into Belly Up, and right now it's just establishing the zoo that the main kid, Teddy Theodore, lives at because his parents are like zoo people that work there. And oh no, Henry the hippo has been murdered. Dun, dun, dun. Which is what I remembered from this book. It's a murder mystery, but you're trying to figure out
who killed the hippo and why, which I don't remember that. I remembered the murder mystery. And I remember it's like corruption or something like that is why the hippo was killed. And yeah, bedtime, gotta wake up at 5 for work. Look at my nails. Okay. Hello guys! I finished Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, and I think my rating's gonna be like 3 out of 10. It was fine. It didn't do anything for me particularly, but it's made for me. It's made for middle schoolers or whatever, but don't remember it being as good as I thought I used to think it was or whatever. But I think for like an introductory mystery, it could work for some kids. But yeah, I was just kind of bored in it. I had a kind of hard time trying to pick it up and finish it because I just didn't care. It's like the mystery's not there. It's not compelling. The characters aren't there. They're not good. Very forgettable. And just not a whole lot happening. Like a lot of talking in like kind of circles and like just like not a whole lot went on. It was just not great. But yeah, I think it served its purpose for the time I read it and for probably kids in that time. I just don't understand why my school in particular had such a fascination with this book that everyone like read it, because it just really wasn't it. Like it wasn't bad, but it was, you know. And this dude, I like look up, he has like 9 or 10 of these in the series, which is like crazy. And yeah, and just the whole zoo, because it takes place as a zoo, it kind of like skeeved me out because I don't know, I have mixed feelings on zoos and for obvious reasons, so that kind of weirded me out a bit. But yeah, I don't know, it was fine. There was a gory autopsy scene on the hippo Henry, which was fucking crazy, which I think might be one of the reasons why all the kids in the school were like, oh my god, you have to read this, because it was fucking crazy that they, like, in this book, cut open the fucking hippo and, like, describes it for you and shit. And it's like, this is for, like, kids, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was fine. It served its purpose, I understand. But yeah, just not, it doesn't hold up at all. But, you know, lived for the cover. Okay, bye! Hello. So, I started Flawed Dogs. I'm about 50 pages in, and I'm enjoying it a lot so far. It's about what I remember. Right now, we're just getting introduced to our main wiener dog, Sam the Lion, and how he met his owner, Heidi. And yeah, and what's really fun is like all the art work in that is like really fun and nice to like see and have. Let's look for another one. It's like very like kind of like goofy looking art, but yeah, it's very fun, very good so far. It's kind of sad because at the start, it starts at the end and then goes back to the whatever, you know what I mean? Like those movies that starts at the end, so we have to make our way there. And somehow, good old Sam finds his way into a dog fighting ring, and that's where the book the first chapter starts, and we flash back to when he meets Heidi, and yeah, enjoying it. I remember quite a lot of this one, so I know it's the comment. It's gonna be heartbreaking. Bye! I just finished Flawed Dogs by Berkeley Breeze, and 10 out of 10, absolutely loved it. It's very, very fucking sad though. But it's just a story about a dog and his love for his owners, and the owner's love for him. And this dog goes through some shit. He has a ladle on his leg. Like, he gets fucked up. Like, his little ears and shit. But yeah, it was amazing. Very heartwarming. Very cute. Very sad, though. Like, definitely, like, middle schooler. Read this. I don't know about elementary school. This might fucking break them. Like, I remember when I first read it, I was just sobbing. I'm not sobbing as much because I kind of knew I remembered the sad bits. But yeah, it was really fucking sad, but really good. And a really fun story about how the flawed, weird-looking dogs took their power back and raided on Westminster. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10. Definitely holds up. Hello, so I'm about like 50 pages into A Tale Dark and Grim, and it's like written very funny. Well, not funnily, it's like written in the author's perspective, and like he's telling you these tales, and he'll interject in between the tales, being like, oh, like putting in his like whatever, like his like 2 cents or whatever about the stories and stuff, and then he'll be like, oh, it ends here, just kidding, it doesn't, and stuff a lot, which it's fun. It adds a fun dynamic, and right now I've only gone through the intro to Jack and Jill, then, or Jack and Jill to Hansel and Gretel, then the second story. And I can't wait for the one that's like A Smile as Red as Blood, because I remember that one being my favorite as a back in middle school. And there's some like 3 warnings that like any like little kids shouldn't read this book, but like the bigger little kids can, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I like it. I don't know. I knew I would. I mean, I loved it, because it's definitely like very much like introduction horror kind of book. And yeah,
I finished A Tale Dark and Grim. And yeah, it was really good. Not as good as I remembered, but but it was still a fun time watching Hansel and Gretel jump through all these different like grim fairy tales or whatever. I think the A Smile as Red as Blood is probably still my favorite one. But they were all solid, and yeah, it was fun. It's just like, I think the biggest thing when I was younger, when I read this was just something different and darker too. It's like there's like 10 million warnings saying the little kids should not be reading this. I think this is definitely like 5th grade to middle school is the perfect area to be reading this, because it does get dark and gross and stuff. But yeah, and that's probably why I was so like gravitated towards it, and I love the cover. I think it's so cool. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's just a solid little book. And I have the other 2, which I'm fucking pissed because the second one has a cover like this, or not, the third one does, and the second one has this ugly ass cover that doesn't look like anything. I hate it so much. Here, wait, let me go grab it. See, this one is so fucking ugly. I hate it. This one's so cool, the red one. But like when I got it, I got it online, and the cover showed like the normal one, like for the first book, that kind of like style of cover. And when it came here, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I thought A Tale Dark and Grim was fun. I liked the narrator popping in and being like his little witty comments or whatever, which was fun and interesting. I just think this was like, especially from when I read it, so different than anything I've ever read before. And that's why I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I would recommend it, especially to like middle school, if you have a middle schooler or something. Maybe read a couple stories or whatever to see if it's appropriate for your kid, because it gets bloody, it gets violent. So yeah, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I'd give it like a 4. Why? Hello, I just finished Blown Away by Joan Hyatt Harlow, and it was really good. I give it like 4 out of 5. It's basically the story of this kid. What the fuck's his name? Jake? Yeah, Jake. Living on this little island outside of Florida, doing Florida things like fishing and shit. Then he stumbles upon this old cranky guy named Sharky? Yeah, Sharky. And so he like starts helping Sharky do shit, and he gets paid. Then they go to like Key West, and Sharky buys a mule and a dog that are like buddies. They're the besties friends, Jewel and Rudy. And then he just like, it's kind of like, in the beginning it's kind of like meandering. It's just kind of like him doing his shit with Sharky. Then this new girl in town, Mara, and taking care of his little sister and shit. Just like fishing, helping Sharky around. The mule and the dog get into some shit, meandering. And then, but as you can see up top, can Jake survive a devastating hurricane? So like halfway through, then the hurricane fucking hits, and then everything gets turned topsy-turvy. And yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was sad but good. I lived in Florida, so it was fun reading a book set in Florida. I wasn't on like an island. I was outside of Orlando in Apopka. That's where I lived. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know, I enjoyed it. It was good. It was a quick little read. And yeah. And yeah, because this was the favorite in 5th grade because my teacher, Miss Bragg, read this to us. She would read like 3 chapters a day or whatever to us, and we were fucking eating it up. And like, I remember the ending vividly. I didn't really remember the beginning too much, but I remembered the ending. And yeah, and it's a solid pick. Very good. Good little, like, middle grade, like, I don't know, like 5th, 4th grade could probably handle it too. It's a little sad, but it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So I started reading Zach's Lie, and it's really good. It's just about this little 12-year-old boy who's in the witness protection program because his dad got mixed up with the drug cartel. And so he's like a little bit of Demi Lovato in the princess protection program. He has to uproot his life and move to like Utah or some shit. I don't know. Nevada. I don't know. Something like that. And just start over, and his real name's Jack, and now his name's Zach, and he has to, it's just him grappling with the fact that he has to basically lie and be a completely different person, and how he's feeling kind of left out because his mom and sister seem to be adjusting better than he is, and it's good so far. It's very interesting watching this kid work through just everything that happened, because like in chapter 2, the dad's drug cartel people like broke into their house and like fucking tied them up and shit. Like, it got dark for a minute. So there's just a lot of trauma in this. Lots of trauma, and it's just about this little boy, little 12-year-old trying to make do. And it's good. I like it. Hello, I finished Zach's Lie, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's probably more like a 4.5, but yeah, I really, really liked it. It's just about this little, like, I don't know, the one thing about it is, I think they were supposed to be like 12, 13, and they didn't really, the, like, kids in it didn't really act like 12 or 13. They kind of acted older than what they were supposed to be, but, you know, almost whatever. And yeah, it was good. You know, it's just about this boy's life in the witness protection program, and him adjusting to his life, and, you know, dealing with the trauma or whatever of his dad not being there because the dad's in jail and shit. And yeah, I don't know, I really liked it. I liked his relationship with the custodian Sam. That was nice. And his little girly friend Catalin, I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. Was cute. Yeah, it was cute. Yeah, the one question I have is because they make this boy wear contacts, and I don't like, they like show, like, in one scene it's like he takes them out, but there's like instances where he's like staying in a tent with a bunch of people, so I don't know how he would have been able to take them out. So like, was he just like sleeping in his contacts? I guess maybe just for that one night, and it would have been fine. But yeah, it was good. I looked on Goodreads and stuff, and there's this like kind of homophobic-y lady on there that was like, oh, my child brought this home, and I had to, I was worried from the title that it might be a bent book, which I guess is like a gay book. I'm not really sure. I tried to Google it, but it just kept on showing like books that like were like bent or whatever. Books that were like bent. And then someone in the comments was like, what does bent book mean? What does bent book mean? And then one lady was like, well, in France it means gay. So I was like, oh, this lady's just a full-on homophobe in the comments. Like, oh, I was worried that they were gonna have her kids read a book about a gay character. And I was like, ew, nasty. And yeah, it was good, but that just irked me. I really want to like comment like, homophobic ass bitch. I'm not going to, because it's Goodreads, and also I really don't care. Okay, one book left. Hello, so I started some of the doll people, and it's good. It's what I remember so far. It's just little dolly Annabelle, who her life's getting boring. She wants to go on adventures, and she finds her Auntie Sarah's book. And her Auntie Sarah has been gone for like 40 something years.
and on talks about how she went on adventures in the house, and now Annabelle wants to look for her. And I think our girl, the like daughter, the other kid's dollhouse, is gonna come for her birthday, and we're gonna meet Tiffany, her little friend, because they're little besties. And like all the art in the book is like really cool. I like having the art interlaced in. We'll see. And then let me look for a good picture like that. See, because Annabelle is just tired of her life, and like that's just all throughout the book, and it's really nice, and I like it. And yeah, it's just like warm and cozy feelings. Hello, so I finished The Doll People, and it was good. It was solid. Not as good as I remember, but I think I just like the second one, The Meanest Doll in the World, better than this one. So yeah, but you know, it's solid. It's just about one little girly doll who's over like 100 years old and is tired of her normal life and wants to go out adventuring, but her parents won't let her because she's made out of china, so she's breakable. Then she wants to go look for her Auntie Sarah, who went missing, but her parents and nanny and uncle won't let her. And then there's a new girl in town named Tiffany, and her family are made all out of plastic. So they like fucking throw themselves off a shed, and they play with the cat because the cat can't hurt them. And so Annabelle and Tiffany lock up, create a club, and start go looking for Auntie Sarah. Yeah, it was just a sweet, cute, good old time. Highly recommend for middle grade readers. And yeah, it was good. Okay, next up, I will rank all of them and wrap up all my thoughts.
Hello, welcome back to my wrap up on reading my childhood favorites. So I'm gonna be going through each one by ranking from my least favorite to my mostest favorite. And yeah, okay. So my least favorite in the video by far is Zombiekins by Kevin Bolger. And this one was just like, even for like a kid's book, like you'll see there's another one, The Zombie Chasers, which is pretty similar, but this one, like, really not a whole lot goes on. The writing is not great, which for like a middle grade to like elementary school read, it doesn't have to be, but like the art's okay. The art's pretty okay. But yeah, it definitely didn't hold up. I felt like the story was not there. It was pretty boring. I don't know how the fuck I got through it as a kid, because not a whole lot happens. The characters are nothing. Zombiekins is barely in the book, like barely. And yeah, it just really was not good. Like, I'm sorry, it just really was not. Next one is gonna be Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, and this one's like a murder mystery about a kid who lives in a zoo and just finding out who killed the hippo. And this one was kind of a slog to get through. It was pretty boring. I felt like with the mystery, not enough was going on or happening to keep me like gripped. Like I also don't know how the fuck I made it through this as a kid. It must have taken me years to finish this book because it was fucking boring. The main kid, don't remember his name, boring as fuck. The one girl he meets, she was interesting. She's like kind of London Tipton, basically. And yeah, it's just like the mystery wasn't compelling, the characters weren't compelling, the zoo was okay, but zoos just give me icky vibes now. And yeah, I just honestly wouldn't recommend. I didn't think for even, like, this is probably more middle grade kid, like, there has to be more. There is more better stuff out there than this. The next one is The Zombie Chasers, by John Klopofer, and I love this book. It's like, this is the one that's kind of like the Zombiekins, but it's just about this kid, I think his name's Zach, yeah, and his, or not, he comes home, and then the zombies apocalypse starts, and he has to survive with his sister's best friend and his best friend, and just try to get to, I forget where. They're trying to get somewhere, like Milwaukee or some shit. And yeah, I don't know. This one's just fun. It's just about them surviving. The art is really cool. I really like the art. It's so fun. You're like Zombieville USA. And they actually go there, like shit happens. They fight zombies. Like, it's a struggle for them to get out. And yeah, I don't know, like, I saw reviews and stuff on Goodreads, and everyone was like, this was so boring, so boring, so boring. And it's just like kids surviving the zombie apocalypse. Like, I don't know how that's boring. And yeah, I don't know. It was a fun time. I think it's good middle grade book if you have like a kid out there who is like interested in horror stuff. I think this would be a good series to show them, like just an introduction to it. And even kids that aren't into horror, I think this has enough going on to keep you engaged. Like, I don't know. I thought it was fun. I liked it. The next one is The Doll People by Anne M. Martin and Laura Goodwin. And this one was a little bit disappointing. I still really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really good read. The art in this is gorgeous as well. There's just like little art in it. Here, let me see. Like, see, like throughout the pages or whatever. The art is gorgeous, and yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with this one, a little boring, but I think I remember because I read the second one, The Meanest Doll in the World, first. And I'm gonna reread that one because I think that's the one that like really is really good. Because I think I remember reading that one, then going back and reading this one and being disappointed back then as well. But yeah, this one just, it was a little slow, a little boring, a little meandering. But you know, it's just about this little doll girl named Annabelle and her bestie Tiffany that go and explore their house trying to look for Auntie Sarah. And yeah, it was fine, you know? Nothing special, a little let down by it, but I think it's still solid, and I think I'm gonna read the whole series this year. I think it's a solid series for any kid. It doesn't get too deep. I don't know, I just really like it. I really like the artwork. I think it's fun, I think it's cute, I think it's light, I think it's good. I really enjoy it. The next one is A Tale Dark and Grim by Adam Gidwitz, and this one also kind of left me down. I remember being obsessed with this one. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I just, like, maybe the other books I liked more. I don't know. I'll probably reread them sometime this year. But like, I don't know. It wasn't as revolutionary as I remembered it being when I read it originally. But it obviously wasn't bad. Like, I still really enjoyed it. Still, like, I think like since Belly Up, all these have been 4. Belly Up's a 3, and Zombiekins is like a 2 or a 1. It's really not good. And yeah, I just like, it's just about Hansel and Gretel jumping through like dark, grim tales and stuff, which was good and fun. I don't know what I was expecting, but I just expected more. Next one is Blown Away by Joan Hyatt Harlow, and this one I really enjoyed. I remember because obviously I never actually read this. My teacher in 5th grade, Miss Bragg, read this to us every, like, for an hour or whatever, or however long, and every day or every week or whatever. So we got little bits of this book, and we were obsessed. I was obsessed, and yeah, I still think it's solid. I just, like, it's kind of like a little meandering too, but still kind of interesting because it's about this kid in 1935 and just his life living on Florida, going throughout this day, working for this old guy named Sharky, and then a hurricane hits, which I lived in Florida, so from the ages like 4 to 9, I think, maybe 8, somewhere around there. I lived there, so we went through a couple hurricanes, and yeah, I don't know, I thought it was solid, I thought it was fun. The hurricane stuff was scary, and yeah, I just thought it was a good book, a good time, good middle grade book that isn't so like watered down, because I know like with all the fucking book banning, they're trying to make everything mean nothing, and like, because like bitches die in this, like it's like bitches die, bitches get hurt and stuff, but I mean, I don't think you should shy away from that stuff because it happens, it's real life. I think you're doing your kids a disservice to throw them into the world as naive idiots that don't know what the world's like, just because you decide to water down everything. So yeah, I really recommend this one. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. Obviously it was sad, but I mean, the world's sad. Next one is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I mean, everyone and their moms knows what this book's about. And yeah, and this one, I think, probably held up to, probably not as much, but because I've just read more. But it was fine, you know, well, not fine, I really liked it, but it wasn't as amazing as I remembered it being, but I mean, it's The Outsiders, like, it's fucking good, like, it's just good. It's a good story, a good book, you know. I really enjoyed it, and I think this is mandatory reading. The next one is Flawed Dogs by Berkeley Breathed. And once again, I love this book. It's about flawed dogs or whatever. And like circumstances happen, the main dog, Sam, the lion, gets lost from his owner. Then he becomes flawed. Then the whole book's about him getting back to her. And yeah, it was solid. It was good. There's like some artwork here. Let me find an artwork that isn't so spoilery. There's like artwork throughout that's really pretty and nice. And yeah, it's really sad as well with all the dogs and all their flaws and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's solid. It's a quick read too. I think if you have like an animal lover, I think they would love this. And yeah. Next one is Zach Sly by Roland Smith. And yeah, I love this book. This one I just remember reading like one time because it wasn't mine. My teacher lent it to me and obsessed. I love this book. It's just about this kid like adapting to his life in the witness protection program, and how basically everything in his life got taken away and he has no control. He doesn't get to choose his name or anything. He just his new life in this new town. And yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I thought the witness protection thing is so fucking interesting, giving me very princess protection program. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. 10 out of 10. I think it's solid, especially for like a middle grade. Some of the themes of like not being yourself or feeling different or whatever, because obviously he's not himself, and just him grappling with the fact that he has to lie to everyone, even like little stuff like he can't tell him where he's from. No one in his school knows what his real eye color is, like because he has to wear contacts. Like it's crazy. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And number one is Wolverine, Worst Day Ever. And like I saw the Goodreads for this, and bitches hate this. Well, they don't hate this. They're like mostly 3 stars. They're like, oh, I wanted to love this, so I didn't. I love this book. I don't care. It's like nothing happens in this book really. It's very like meandering. Not a lot goes on. It's just about this kid's just like how his day-to-day in living in Xavier's school for the gifted. And I just fucking love it because I wanted to be him so bad. I wanted to go to the gifted school or whatever and just like live day to day there. And that's why I think I love it so much, because I was like, fuck, that should have been me. It should have been me. And I think this kid's power of just like no one noticing him there is so interesting and cool. And I love the like now that there's like a bit of a plot twist at the end. Now that I like know it and reread it, I'm like, that's so fucking obvious. But when I first read this, I was like, holy shit, my world was rocked. And just like as a fan of the X-Men, I think, especially if you're like elementary, middle school, I think this is a good pick. And I absolutely loved it. I don't care. People can say it's boring, nothing happens. I don't care. I love the day-to-day just living in Xavier's school, and I love his power and how everyone around him has to deal with it or try to deal with it or not, even though he's there, obviously. And it just, I love it so much. I love it. And I get it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm sorry. It's for me. Okay, that's all. Thank you for watching this video. Heart.